Welcome to our Formnext Afterwork Talks. Wow, we had a very impressive second day of Formnext here in Frankfurt, and we had a very impressive show here from our partner country, France, this year. And this evening, this afternoon was full packed with information, with presentation, with lectures here. And wow, now we are going to have some short wrap up here with my guest, and I'm very happy to have you guys here on stage at an evening as an after work talk. And yeah, who is here with me? Rainer Gebhardt, he's consultant, working group Additive Manufacturing of VDMA. And his working group is actually covering the whole AM process chain with more than 200 companies. I think that's the number.
Thank you, Frank, yes.
Christoph Eschenbrenner, he works at Dassault Systems in charge of global accounts and clusters. But here on Formnext, the most people know him, I think, as president of France Additive, a non-profit organization federating up to 180, it's right, 180 French AM actors. Maybe the one or the others coming additive there, you know, because you are very good promoting here your France community. Perfect. And Vincenzo Belletti. Vincenzo is Director of EU Public Affairs of Ceshimo. Ceshimo is a lot of people well known as a manufacturing community in Europe. And, but you do not only cover machine tool industries, but all the manufacturing technologies as well.
Correct.
And Sven Krause, my co-host here, and he was the one who managed all the French presentations this afternoon. Sven, no, exhausting, was it?
Not exhausting at all. First of all, thank you for Christoph for organizing and enabling this session. To be honest, as a moderator, probably from the outside it seems like a lot of content, but as long as the content is interesting, and I must admit that I liked every single session of it. I mean, I'm a favorite of the startups, I must admit, but I liked it very much. Very interesting innovations, very inspiring community. Thank you so much. Was a pleasure.
Christoph, I saw that you were attending here, you were visiting as a spectator. What is your conclusion? What was your highlight maybe?
Clearly it's a huge event. I think everyone is very happy to be there. You are on 4 different floors. It's just amazing to see such a success. I think today was a crazy day with many visitors. And the French community was really happy to be part and to be invited this year as a French country invited in 2022. So thanks a lot for this great event. Very happy.
And from the topics that you saw here on stage, were there some topics that impressed you
the
most?
reason why we are here, so thanks to VDMA and to Ceshimo to be there, is that we want to talk about national plan for additive manufacturing.
Oh, we come to that later, but I think that was not a presentation today. I just want your personal impression. Maybe you saw one device you want to take home, or maybe you saw a new machine you never knew about before, something like that. Or were you busy with different topics? Then I won't bother you anymore.
No, you're right. In fact, personally, I'm refurbishing a house in the south of France. And I'm looking for some specific parts that we call mouche à rabier. That's a part where you can let the flow get in the house. And I found a company here who was able to do that, printing mouche à rabier parts and to put on the building, and you can have fresh air inside.
And it's a French company?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. What else?
But I did not know that before coming to Formnext.
Yeah, what else? In Europe, various national plans for additive manufacturing are ongoing currently. You said that before, and that you mentioned it when we were talking prior to this meeting here, and that is on top of European program activities. Would you please give us some insight what's going on here? Because we have a very international perspective here, not only the French perspective, but the German and the European perspective. And I want to dive a bit deeper into the international perspective later. But let's begin with this program. What is it? And tell our audience, please, what is going on here.
So I will start effectively on what we do in France and what we try to extend at European level. The idea all of the actors, they are collectively acting to make the business growth, to extend applications. We are working with media, with exhibition company, with research centers to say how can we enhance, how we can deliver more value. And most of us, to develop this kind of activity, we need the support of public actors. So we go to local actors, to region, we go to state level, and we try to get money to raise funds to execute this different initiative. What we have done in France is that we have not only moved together at additive manufacturing level, but we have also moved with robotics, for example. You have seen a lot of robots here in this event. And we try to get in touch with the government to say, let's go and let's define a roadmap for the future. And let's try to contractualize together what we can do for the future of our country, to create jobs, to deliver sustainable solutions for Earth, and also to execute some very important R&D program to satisfy the key industry that we have, like it might be aerospace or fashion or nuclear or new system of energy. And the idea, behind that is to say we can do something at the French level, but clearly we have to face various competitors. And we think that the different actors who are close to us, they are more friends than competitors, because there is some other major markets, like the one in the US or like the one in China. And approximately in March this year, there was Joe Biden who has launched a plan called Forward AM. It's a huge national plan at the United States level. So with much more usage, much more money, much more actors, and a different method also. And the idea is to have an open discussion together with my friend from Sesimo and friends from VDMA to say, but you are a lot of skills around Europe activities based on what you do every day for Sesimo. And yourself, you have done already in the past some activities around the national plan for additive manufacturing in Germany.
Okay, Christoph.
And it's to draw that for the future together.
To drive that forward.
And next year we'll be on stage at Formnext to say we have done it.
Yeah. Okay. we are going step by step. First, I want to understand when you're talking about such a program. Let's begin with a program in France.
Yeah.
What is the content of that program? So, do you give money to universities? Is that the program, or are you is it a kind of substantial growth for small companies, or what are the topics?
What we have defined is 7 different actions.
Okay.
We have 3 actions that are targeting demand, 3 actions that are targeting offer, and 1 action is based on skills. So the 3 first action is to say how can we detect more usages. So we do various initiatives on the field to say, maybe we have to make this bottle.
That would be like marketing. Marketing, like showing applications, show the users what they can do?
Needs, identifying needs. You have a problem, maybe we have a solution. We don't know yet, but maybe we have one. So it's just to open new ideas, new territories. The second action is to say, if you detect something that may make sense with additive manufacturing, there will be probably some efforts. So you need to purchase a machine, or you need to go to a research center to do a specific process, or you need to have a specific material. So how do we get some resources to enhance this effort and to fund it? And the third one is to say we need to work closely with industrials, and we need research and technical center to be able to deliver these promises on the field. So this is a 3 action targeting demand. Targeting the offer, we have defined that the actors on the French market are too small, and they are not enough on the export market. So how can we help these actors? You have seen some of them today, to accelerate, so to go out of France and to develop and grow. Second action, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Tell us the second action.
So second action on the offer is to say we need to have workshop. So this is the actors who are making parts for others. Mm-hmm. And this workshop has to be at the same level as the others. So how these companies can have various sites, how can then cover different processes, how can have the right skills to address the market. And the third action targeting the offer, is to get an industrial, a large group, who will say, I make the choice of additive manufacturing, but also the choice of a French customer. So it's really a challenge. You know that here in Germany, you had BMW who did something excellent. Maybe you will talk about it here with different actors to show what you can do at industrial level with additive manufacturing. So we asked to the actors who are in France, let's do it together and let's show what might be the future. And the last element, that is number 7 in terms of action, is how do we work with the universities, all the engineering schools, etc., to get the right skill at the right level and to get maybe 5,000 people trained on a very short time of period. General managers, salespeople, research people, sales guys, etc. All the different actors that we need to support the course. So we have presented that to the government, and they have said, okay, let's go, let's move forward together. We will help you, depending on these different targets that we have, and we will raise funds for that publicly. But let's do things progressively together. That's
okay, that sounds like an awesome program. Is there something similar in Germany, Rainer?
Sure, I think the points you mentioned, Christoph, the targets are very similar. We have our group of these about 200 companies you mentioned, really representing the whole process chain, because this is a very important point to be successful with the technology, bring together all involved parties, and to show what is necessary to realize a good AM product. And okay, within the VDMA, the Mechanical Engineering Federation, we have also the possibility to be directly in touch with different branches, industries, and their needs. So nobody wants to use AM because AM is so beautiful, but for the industrial use, and this is our aim. We started 10 years before. Industrialization of additive manufacturing means really to use it where it is sensible, helpful, to have the best solution for your challenge, the industrial challenge. Yeah. And for this we have similar points to look at. But you asked for national initiatives. I think one point is we started just last year with this education point, because the signal was from the industry, different companies, very interesting, but who knows how to use AM? Who knows the details about the understanding the mindset, and also to find out, is it freedom of design, or is it perhaps to use it in a special business case, flexibility, print on demand or print on site, all these different aspects. And you need these experts who understand what's behind, because sometimes it's good really to copy, many cases not to copy a conventional part, and so on. So education is really something we need. And what we see is there are many offers, but who really uses it? Mm-hmm. That's the point,
You recently contributed a strategy position paper to strengthen the German market, is that right?
Yeah.
Got that? And what were the key insights here? How to strengthen the German market? And remember, we have a guy from the European perspective. But that's the first step. We are talking about the French market, we're talking about the German market, and then we are looking at the European market, and then we will be bigger until we are with Elon Musk on Mars, okay? But first, or second, what's with the German market? How to strengthen the German market? What are the findings of your strategy paper?
Yeah, okay. One point is really that we are in Germany with our federation, but to be honest, we are open for the European companies, so we are not in this way only focused on German markets. This point with the education, it is important to have an overview.
Sorry when I interrupt you. That was one finding of your strategy paper, the education.
Education, really, and digitalization is surely also something. is it really a national initiative? No, it's
Okay.
you do it together in the whole market, everybody who is involved. And what we learned is there are so many players in the European market, and you need the cooperation of these players to be successful with this. And then this growing market, to enter in the different markets, in the different industries, is another point. If Frank, you are invited to come up to the first floor here. We invited our companies, and I think this is also something very important.
I would send my camera team.
Please do
I'm
it.
busy here, but I can send the camera team to you.
To show what is realized up to now with additive manufacturing in industrial use, not only also to show what is done in research, but really parts which are produced for industrial daily use and for doing business.
Yeah.
You mentioned one very important aspect. Don't forget about it. Ask me later in some minutes. The growth, how to accelerate the growth. We come back to that later. But I want to get in our talk the European perspective. Now we have here two very nice guys sitting, and they obviously are working together here. We have one of these guys as partner country here. But from the European perspective, when you're looking at politics, it always sounds like, hey, when Germany and France are going together, then everything will be fine in Europe. Is it the same here?
Well, I would say that most of the topics that they mentioned are also the one that we are covering at the European level. Education, definitely, we are part of a European project that is actually looking at the skills gap within the AM sector. But I think I would say that the action that we are carrying on since now several years, it's the one of information, because there are a lot of misconceptions about additive manufacturing, especially when it comes to policymakers. We have every year, I think, a meeting with different policymakers asking us all sorts of different questions regarding additive manufacturing. What if I buy a 3D printer and I want to 3D print a car? I just go buy a scanner and then a 3D printer, and then I will be able to do it.
Nice
and
approach.
Then, yes, exactly. So nice business model as well.
I like it.
But we are there exactly to connect them with the fact, with the reality, with the concrete example from national associations, but also directly from companies, and showing them that what's the reality, where is this technology today, and where can it go, actually. I think that's our let's say core business. It has been our core business so far, because let's say there have been many topics that have taken up the attention too fast from the policymakers' point of view, and they have overlooked maybe the benefits and all the beautiful application that we can see, for instance, today.
But that's our job, Sven. Huh?
Yeah,
doing
honestly,
information.
my experience, I mean, I'm accompanying the sector quite a while, and what I see when I talk to people outside our industry, that, as you said, there's a total misunderstanding most of the time. And my question would be to you, I mean, I know you mentioned there are programs in place, but nobody knows about them. Is it a marketing topic? Because the thing is, especially if it comes to education and future employees in our industry, you have a competition, right? I mean, we have a lack of skilled people. We have so many industries that are searching for them. What should attract them in additive manufacturing? That's the first question, probably for you. Is that included in your programs to attract them? First point. And second, adding the factor that you just mentioned, if they don't even understand correctly the industry, what can we do then? Or is the main topic marketing then? Is it?
Well, so in terms of attracting, let's say, new workforce in the sector, I think with this project we have seen that certain areas, let's say, have been more successful than others. So we have recently launched a course for AM metal coordinator. We had many let's say, participants, while others were less successful. So therefore, probably it depends very much on what aspects of the sector we are dealing with.
I asked the question here on the stage, I don't know, yesterday or this morning. Do you bring the machine vendors from your classical subtractive business, which are producing hybrid machines? Do you bring them as Sesimo here to a exhibition like Formnext?
Well, no.
But wouldn't be that one action to get a bit more step ahead?
Let's say we try absolutely to make the connection between the two words.
So you have the EMO in Hanover and the EMO in Milano, and maybe it would be good to make a hall. Just I'm right now selling some. I want to have some salary here, but you can bring all this machinery industry to the AM community in combining them. I think it's a lot of getting people in connection.
So the idea when we created the AM group within Sesimo was exactly this. So to make our machine tool manufacturers and the AM manufacturers finding their points of let's say the common points, the common grounds where to cooperate, but also how to see how to complement each other's work. Within EMO, we do have exhibitions dedicated to 3D printing, additive manufacturing, many companies are participating. Next year in Hanover, we will have one hall dedicated only to additive manufacturing. So definitely, it's something that we are working on. Today, no. Today here in Formnext, we are not present with the booth. Most probably, that will happen.
Okay, we write down next year.
Next year, yeah. But it is definitely something that we are looking. We are trying to inform our national associations as well. We worked actually together on a report sponsored by the European Commission on the use of 3D printing for machine tools. And so we looked into this report and how this technology could be used by machine tool manufacturers.
Okay, now we talked about a bit the chances we might have in cooperation and some methods how to solve the problem. And China, as a word, was here in our round already. I want to focus a little bit on that topic. Where are the obstacles that might come? Is there a competition internationally? We had American guys here. They were saying with a smiling face, "Oh, you European are a bit behind with digitalization and try and error methods." We already discussed it. I had your colleague, Mr. Heering, today this morning here, and he said we want to do it in our German and engineering way we used to, and it's a better way. So there is a kind of competition between US and German or European way in doing it. But what's with the Chinese market and with the Chinese, push coming out of this strong development over there?
Yeah,
Christoph.
Yeah, I think for China it's different. I think, but at least for the United States, the key factor is that's their president who is speaking. I think that's what is missing at European level. It's there at the top level. It's Joe Biden. He said, let's go to additive manufacturing because we want to localize activity and to be more dependent of China. So he cleared on something. He said to everyone, if you have the major actors, you need to place order locally. Your research center, you need to work with SMBs and with a solution company to have some solution. And everyone has to commit. And I will give money if yourself you commit, and if the major actor who will place order commit also. So I think this commitment, we don't have it at European level today. So there is programs in Germany, there is one in France, there is different actors. We talk when we are with Sesimo or what the European Commission is doing. But at the top level, there's no global message. And I think really that's the challenge for us, is to say, and that's the right place to talk together, because we are all together at Formnext, to say, let's do it differently. Let's think about what is working well in the US, and let's try to duplicate. And that's why I said it's a good target for the next 6 months or 9 months, and to get someone from maybe the president of European level coming to Formnext to say we launch a European plan for national additive manufacturing to localize our activities, to deliver new solutions, and to execute a program.
So we have to
That's
invite
clearly the
Mrs.
idea to talk
We have to
together.
invite Mrs. von der Leyen to
Yeah,
come here.
clearly.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do so.
That's the challenge.
This is really a proposal that I
Yeah,
highly
clearly, I open the
appreciate.
discussion
And I
on
tell
this.
you what, I mean, when I think how I entered this industry, I was shown a model of the Kölner Dom from my brother-in-law who was working at AOS at that time. And it was the side of the thumb, and it has all stairs, everything included in this size. So once I've seen that, I was addicted right away. And I think if you want to have European politicians, especially in the European Commission, to force it and to stand behind it, I think they need to get familiar with that. I remember Angela Merkel once visited several additive manufacturing exhibitions and got close to it. And she is an engineer, so she was addicted right away. So I think we need to bring that together. So bring them over to Formnext, best place to be, and show them application. I think application is the key to get infected.
Okay, I totally agree. But I wanted to switch to another aspect of the internationalization, because US is kind of a competitor. You mentioned Biden is announcing some sort of
acceleration
American First
plan,
program, but they are partners as well.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
it's the same in China. How to find the middle way? I think I find it very, very difficult to find the middle way between China or the big markets, let's say. There are different others in the world as well, Japan and others. So not only always to mention China and US, but they are the most biggest one. Rainer, how to find the middle way in cooperation and going in frontation?
I think to have a competitive situation is always good. It's a healthy situation because you have to push your business, you have to push your technology, you have to be in front of the others. So this is a good situation. The point is, if there are, and this is, you mentioned our strategy paper, to have fairly competition, and that's what we would like to have. Surely, not something which is supported in a country a very strong way, and you
how to get that?
So it's really to have a view on the situation, what means the business between the countries, and to have no regulation which stops our business and pushes the Chinese, the Asian
but
business.
We have the associations here, Sesimo, VDMA, and France Additive. You are a very loud voice. You can say, okay, we need that more.
Yeah, but the point is perhaps one example I think we didn't mention up to now, this work at standardization.
Okay.
Which is an international platform, surely, and especially Asian, the Chinese companies are very active, also the US, and our impression is in Europe it's not always in a similar way. Yeah?
Very interesting point. Standardization. It's a sharp
push
sword,
it more.
Isn't it? It can be a sharp sword. Standardization. Yeah. What is your about the idea? Do we need more cooperation in standardization?
Yeah, I think so. Effective standardization is one point. Working on certification also. So it's another way to address this topic, is to say, do we have the right skills? Do we train the people on the right things? Do we change mindset? And do we have people with the right skills certified? So we know when they make something for medical implant, that they can implant it effectively. If they do it for a rocket, if they do it for a nuclear plant, that they have the right certification. So these aspects are key to accelerate. And on your question, I think effectively Europe, China, and the United States, they are partners. Myself, I work for Dassault Systèmes. We sell solutions worldwide. So it's not a matter to have this different competition, but it's just to say additive manufacturing is a way to build the future. It's a way to localize activity, to reduce the impact of economy on the planet. So clearly, we have to develop it. It would be a shame if we make additive manufacturing part in China to put that on a cargo or in a plane to use it in Europe. It's a nonsense. So that's why we have to move. If we do not move, what will happen? We will make parts in China or in the US, and we put that in a plane to consume in Europe. So let's move together and build the future, and we will work with them also. It's not a problem. But at least we will be at the same level.
But as Frank mentioned, a question to you on a European level, yeah? Is it sometimes frustrating seeing how fast US and China could go, as they, in my impression, somehow can set a new standardization right away and go ahead, especially medical? How long does it take for a startup to raise an idea here in Europe due to regulation in the States, and China, it's right there. So how does that feel, and what do you do about it?
We have we have this frustration, absolutely. The solution is actually we have to develop something that is in between, as we were saying, the approach in the US and in China, because for sure their approach wouldn't work in our market. For standardization, for us, for instance, would be to one suggestion that at least we have made to the Commission, it would be to start helping smaller companies to attend these meetings, even funding some of the flights, even their attendance to this kind of standardization discussion. When it comes to speed, unfortunately, we have this type of methodology, I would say, that is not gonna change. What we can change is the approach in which we bring AM to the let's say to the market, and that, for instance, can be done with an AM initiative. The real issue in general that we have had in Europe, that we have moved always too late. We have discussed it before also with Rainer. We are getting there 10 years, 20 years later. Now we are doing the solar panel initiative in Europe. When we are definitely not market leader, we should have done it 10 years ago. We are doing the battery initiative when we have implemented the strategy for electric mobility that is in full speed like now. And most probably with this kind of pace, we will develop an AM strategy in 30 years when we are importing parts from China, as you were saying. So we, as association, we need to flag this, and we will continue to flag this, maybe even as you did, to develop steps on or exactly what they need to do, because otherwise this won't come from the other side. So for sure.
My impression is that Christoph brought to us a good concept, and it sounded like a comprehensive concept, and that could be the way to take parts to Germany, to take parts to cover it as a whole in Europe, and maybe we have Mrs. von der Leyen next year here on stage, who can announce that we are going fast forward in that. I'm looking at our time scale. We have a bit time left, but not much. So I just want a quick answer from you four guys here. Looking at the third show day tomorrow. But I want to have a personal view, not your view as a professionals, just your personal view. What will you do tomorrow morning as first? What is your first, step into the exhibition? What will you look at through your personal eyes?
As an exhibitor, I have to start at our booth, and my first view is, so many nice and beautiful examples for successful additive manufacturing. We have to push it and to show it to the industry. That's really amazing for me as a mechanical engineer, and I like it very much.
Christoph, what would be your first impression here? You mentioned already for your house in South France.
So I will visit another startup for the French actors that is called Lattice Medical. They won a prize from Formnext, and they are implementing artificial breast made by additive manufacturing. So I will go and congratulate them because they get a prize, and it's a very good example of what we can do, how we can change life with additive manufacturing.
Vincenzo, what will be your first step?
Yeah, besides the meeting that I have scheduled, I want to look for a pair of 3D printed glasses because that's my next purchase for sure.
So maybe you have a look at the Ukraine donation action. There are some of these 3D printed eyeglasses, sunglasses, and maybe you can donate there and win one of these glasses. Sven,
Excellent.
I don't have to ask you, or do you want to have an answer for me?
Tomorrow with Marcus together tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to the stage because we have a wonderful program again, super interesting. And I hope I find some time to walk a little bit about the fair because so many friends I haven't seen.
Exactly.
And so many amazing things I just saw by walking by, so I think it won't be boring, that's for sure.
True.
That sounds really good. So thank you very much, you four guys here with me on stage, for your insights, for the discussion, for the good ideas you brought to us. And thank you very much, dear audience out there and dear audience here at the booth. Yeah, we see you tomorrow in the morning. We are starting on time at 9 o'clock for the third day of Formnext 2022 here in Frankfurt. And my last word is, stay tuned.
Thank you.
Do you have a